Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's the Rodfather 916. When is it all right not to like or love your family? Some people say that strangers treat you better than family, complete strangers. Remember, you always love your blood, no matter what. But what if the blood, just because you're blood, brothers and sisters, siblings, other family members, sometimes you just don't mix. There are family members that just do not mix. There's mothers who don't like their sons or daughters. There are fathers who don't like their siblings. And yet we get together. I'm sorry, I'm rubbing my eye. We get together for holidays because it's tradition. One of my most popular blogs that was picked up by a few, I won't say national publications, is about the holidays and how people go home. In our head, we get caught up in the fantasy of it's Christmas, it's time for love, joy in the family. But some family members use Christmas time as a time to, I won't say be passive aggressive, but attack members of the family or family members who have resentments. This is the time to do it. It's cruel. It's often supported by other family members, sometimes the parents, wanting to know information about one of your siblings that they're afraid to ask, or maybe they're not getting the proper answers, so they'll set one family member up who's cruel. And this cruelty is often at the expense of your husband or your wife and your children. And every year you go, and when you leave, you are a mess. Some people, it takes them weeks, months to recover from family visits, but they go because mom says, or dad says, or your favorite sister says, it's not going to be right without you. And if you don't go, people are going to be mad. The people are going to be disappointed. So you go. And you have a horrific time. One of my friends many years ago says, and I live by this, family outings, he'd set a timer, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because he said that would give his family, that would give him a time to escape, because in the last half hour, after, everybody's full and maybe having some of that brown liquor or just feeling nasty, is when they start sharpening the knives. So no matter how well things are going, no matter how much love and laughter, he sets his time to 2.5 hours and he's out of there. And I do that. Hopefully my family's not listening, but I do that. I remember one family outing I was at. Two sisters got in a fight, and one talked about getting a gun on one, and the other one talked about stabbing, and I'm saying, why am I here? I could be at home eating an Intimates cake and some whipped cream. And it's one of the reasons why I always stay at a hotel, because it's not that I don't love my family. They need their space and I need my space. But what if that's not you? You can't afford it and you're sleeping on the sofa in a living room or in the basement or or 5 of y'all in one bedroom and everybody sleeping on the floor, living on pallets, and you are there and you are being attacked. You may even be part up. God, you may even not know it, but get caught up in the gossip and all the craziness that comes in some families. And your husband knows, but he can't tell you, not to visit your family. Your children recognizes. I mean, I'm the youngest, and my brother could turn me. I'm in my 30s and 40s. He could turn me into a 10-year-old child. I'm not a screamer, I'm not a yeller, but he can have me like screaming, making this voice. And my son would look at me like, I've never seen this before, and I like it. And I would feel bad. I'm like, why the fuck is he here? And one year, I remember I made a pact with myself, no matter what he says, no matter what insult, no matter what he says, I am not going to let him bother me this year. And he did. He came after me. Guns are loading. He had bullets. He went after everything. And I didn't lift an eyebrow. And when that punk left the house, I was so proud of myself. And I went to bed and I woke up and I couldn't speak. I was sick for 3 days. He still got me. So what do you do? Are you obligated to be someplace where it's toxic for you? Forget everybody there who's having a great time and they seem to like the craziness that comes with it. If it affects you, are you obligated because his family is blood and, Aunt Ray Ray's going to be there and Magdalene's going to be there and somebody's coming from Texas you ain't seen since you child. You have to be there. You don't. You don't. You can send a card, which is cheaper. You can buy them a ham if you want to. But you don't have to be there. You can start your own tradition in a not a toxic environment. And hopefully you don't bring that toxicity to your own family, because that does happen. There are certain people in black communities, well, we only make greens this way. I only do it that way. You don't do it this way. And they complain and they insult you in the whole 9 yards. You can make your own tradition with your own family. Don't worry about your family. They're going to talk anyway. This is about your life. You are not obligated. And if they, for whatever reason, decide that you not showing up is an insult to the family, let it be. Because this is about you. You. And if you have a family, it's about you and your kids. Because you're showing them, because they're looking at you, you're showing them that this is maybe how it is. And one day, you don't go and you realize this is not a good place for me. So give that some thought. Are you obligated to like or love your family and it hurts you inside? Now, if you're super sensitive, not to family but other people, you may consider a third party, a therapist. But if you feel attacked, or not feel attacked, but if you know you're feeling attacked or it just feels bad for you to go there, then don't go there. There was an old joke that says, every time I touch my head this way, it hurts. And doctor said, well, stop touching it. Stop going to these functions where you are upset and your husband worries about you because you've turned into, like my son who used to watch me, you've turned into somebody they don't recognize, making him and your children uncomfortable to please family. You don't have to. Life is too short. You hear me say that all the time. And the other thing you hear me say is we teach people how to treat us. Mr. Rodfather, if you haven't subscribed, do that. It's right over there. Hit the button. Hit the like. I really want to hear what you have to say. If you disagree with me, I'm okay with that. I don't take it personally. You know, you live in Sylvania, Georgia. What are the chances we'll cross paths? But I still want to hear what you have to say. And again, we're talking about serious things. This is part 3 of a 2-part. If you haven't seen part 1, which is about money, and part 2 is about the secret, see it. We all experience this, and I hope you all benefit from it. I'm wishing everybody love, joy, peace, and happiness. Life is short. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.